Morning again, maybe, guys. All right, this is something else that I wanted to talk about. Now, I don't know if this video is going to be the first one today or the second one today because I'm getting throttled something fierce. It's about 8:30 here on Wednesday morning, and the morning video that I've trying to put up has been trying to upload for 2.5 hours. Okay, usually it takes me about 5 minutes. So, yeah, I'm just being throttled. Okay, so I apologize that nothing was up first thing in the morning, but it is what it is, and so be it. So this one is concerned in a different direction. Now, y'all know that I've mentioned multiple times that, Trump was the first president since Jimmy Carter not to start a war, okay? And, we all know that war is good for the economy, supposedly, but it's especially good for politicians' pockets, all right? That's never been a doubt, They're all in bed with the defense contractors, it's like, hey, give us a contract to build more planes, tanks, APCs, whatever it would be, and we'll throw some money in your campaign coffers. Okay. I don't have to tell anybody that. We know it. So, the worrisome part is what is the stage that's being set. Now, if y'all caught, and there's a few pieces to this part, so bear with me on all of this. If y'all caught the news in the last couple of days, NATO now has a headquarters, if you will, in Norfolk, Virginia, all right, which is basically where our naval command is. The excuse is this is public, okay, just in case there's any sort of war at sea, we need a presence in the United States to coordinate things, all right? On paper, it makes sense. Giving NATO control somewhere on the U.S. mainland is very worrisome, okay? But then you start looking at some of the words coming out of Potato's mouth, all right? And Tuesday, Potato comes out and says that he's been briefed on Russian efforts to spread misinformation related to the 2022 midterm elections. Right? So they're already setting the midterms up that they know they're going to get slaughtered in. Okay, they're already setting up the same thing that already worked for them before. Let's blame the Russians. Let's blame the Russians. Let's blame the Russians. Okay, it's don't want to blame the Chinese. Let's blame, because the Chinese are the one paying Joe. Okay, let's blame the Russians. Okay, quote, look what Russia is doing already about the 2022 elections and misinformation. It's a pure violation of our sovereignty. Okay, care to give me the example there, Joe? What are they actually doing? You tell me to look what they're already doing. Show me. Okay. Don't see anything. All right. So you get Joe talking about all this. Now, where it gets even scarier is in a press conference yesterday. Biden comes up and says, if we end up in a war, a real shooting war with a major power, it's going to be a consequence of a cyber breach. Joe is looking to go to war. There is no doubt. If you've seen his approval numbers, they're going in the toilet, okay? His approval on handling the economy, I think, is somewhere around 17%. Even Democrats are jumping ship on Joe's handling of the economy. I talked to my boss yesterday, who is a self-proclaimed uber liberal. Okay, or how do you put it? A bleeding heart liberal. Okay, and he said this ain't working. Okay, So what does Joe got to do? Joe's got to save the economy somehow. How did we come out of the Depression? World War II brought the economy out of the Depression. The 1950s were then a boom time. All right. So, this is all being played up, guys, as a way to go to war. Now, for some reason, the Democrats have this infatuation with going to war with Russia, even though the actual threat to the United States is China. But let's go to war with Russia, okay? Because now what the problem that you have is, what side is China on? Think about that, okay? We don't want them on our side. I mean, at least the American population doesn't, okay? The politicians do, because it's slide some of that greenbacks into my pocket, okay? So does China go on Russia's side? Or because China is so land grab happy and China wants a lot of Eastern Russia, the Siberian area and stuff like that, do they all of a sudden give Russia a two-front war? Russia's against the United States and China's against Russia on the backside. Okay. This could be extremely dangerous. And remember, Russia's a nuclear power. Russia's got more nukes than we do. Okay. Their hypersonic torpedoes, their nuclear torpedoes they got. There's a story that Russia has put up. They are building 2 supersonic type jets that can be used as command and control, kind of like an Air Force One deal, but better. Because, when it comes to the arms race between the United States and Russia, we, the United States, the West, has really fallen behind, okay? I mean, we're still using older technology, and the stuff that we created, i.e. the F-35 or something like that, doesn't work worth a shit. And Russia's been ramping everything up. So, it's not like it was in the 80s where we had this confidence that, hey, you know what, no problem. M1s versus T-80s, no big deal. We got that taken care of. We're behind, okay? If the war is brought to us, which chances are this time it will be, okay? It's not going to be a pretty picture. And then which side is China on? So that was that. But the funniest part with Joe yesterday, okay? And this will tell you how great our leadership is. Joe finished his speech, walked away from the podium, got 15 feet away from the podium as he's walking off stage. Kind of puts his hands up like, oh, what'd I do? Walks back to the podium and says, oh, I forgot. I have to ask permission to leave. Who in the world do you need to ask permission from? You are the president of the freaking United States, okay? What, Jen Psaki saying you can't go anywhere? No, sorry, Joe. Grow a set already. You're supposed to be the one in charge. If you want to make it obvious you're being a puppet, you're doing a good job, okay? We all know you're an idiot. Just please, don't keep proving us right every day. And do us a big favor. Keep us out of a war. We've been in one for the last 20 freaking years in Afghanistan. We don't have any more patience for this. Okay? We'd all like to live our lives without some war going on, without our sons and daughters being killed, without everybody threatening to blow up the United States every other day. We would just like to live our lives with a little bit of peace and a lot less protest. Get rid of all this bullshit, Joe, and do what government is supposed to do. Stay out of the way and just keep us safe. Please, I'm begging you, do your job. Stop with all the bullshit social justice warrior crap, okay? And do what you're supposed to. You have one job. That is protecting us. It is the only thing you need to do. Everything else is bullshit. If and when this video ever makes it up, well, hopefully say have a good morning, but the way things are going, it might be 4 o'clock this afternoon. Who knows? So, all right, guys. See y'all. Pinball up.